Okay, everybody, here we are with the last team of the night. Go over there. The 1982 Elmvale Angels softball team. For 8 triumphant years, the Elmvale Angels ladies softball team outperformed their competitors to develop into a celebrated baseball dynasty. Throughout the period, 1977 to 1984, an unsurpassed number of tournament, league, and playoff championships were accomplished and became the team's only accepted outcome. In 1982, their highest ranking achievement was realized when they won the PWSA Senior Tier 2 Provincial Championship and became a Tier 1 National Championship qualifier. For the following inductees, please join us on stage. John Brown, Fran Craig, Annette Craddock-Martin, Tom McLennan, Debbie Sharman, Trish Downey Campbell, Jean Fox, Kelly Grantham. Kelly will be represented by Lori, Lisa, and Dan Grantham, sisters and brother. Angela Humelink, Angela Curtin, Joanne McGinnis, Jody Player Delgado, Joan Player, Billy Joe Player, Brenda Posey Middleton, Debbie Smith Adams, Anna Story, Bonnie Van Castern, Linda Watson, and posthumously Brenda Columbus Yanni. Unable to attend, Barb Schlorf Parker and Carol Petit. 2 of the sponsors, Paul Priest of Sexton's Mechanical and Will Marshall Insurance. Actually, I think Helen Marshall is going to come up in place of Will to present the awards and the inductee pins. Paul and Helen, please proceed to the stage as well. You gotta understand how difficult it was growing up and trying to play baseball in Elmvale. You get together and a whole bunch of people and they pick for teams and your sister always got picked before you. My therapist says I'll get over it. Actually, it's not even that embarrassing. It's pretty good. Of course, don't ever make a mistake in front of her, eh, girls?
You wish you could throw like a girl.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, I can't watch the movie A League of Their Own without thinking about my sister. So I always thought, man, if it was a professional ball league somewhere, it would have been fantastic. Every time I see that movie, it's just like, man, I wish my sister had that opportunity.
You want to get rid of me that bad?
Well, you always find a way to come back.
Anyway, I'm going to keep this a lot more brief than my long-winded brother. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees tonight. Great job and well-deserved. I know a lot of you people that went in tonight, and you really do appreciate it. I'd also like to thank Larry and his gang, Darren, for putting tonight on. As a sponsor, I can speak for Helen of the Marshall Insurance Group that it's nice to see our logos out and about at this event and at other venues throughout the year. It is very well done. Thank you. Now, we'd like to congratulate the Elmvale Angels not only on 1 year, 82, but on several great years. I remember as a kid, like I maybe was like, no, I would say that. Yeah, I know. Reading articles continuous in the Elmvale lands for 10 years straight. Oh, did she? Okay, yeah. But pictures and memories, and it was great. So on behalf of Marshall Insurance and Sexton's Mechanical, we would like to welcome you to the Springwater Heritage Hall of Fame.
Before Joanne speaks, I think Drake has something to say about the Brownie Foundation.
I'm Drapes, I guess you'd, yeah, okay. It's going to be short as well. In honor of Brownie passing away in 2006, one of our former teammates, Debbie Gillespie Kennedy, formed a foundation along with a lot of her friends, or Brownie's friends actually, and a couple of angels. And what we do is we raise money and we give it all away, 100% of money. Our mandate is simple: raise the money, give it away. 95% of those recipients of this money are usually experiencing health challenges. However, that's not always the case. Sometimes they've lost their homes to fire. Whatever the individual case may be, it is not based on financial means, but rather someone in the foundation has heard about their circumstance. We want to know that they're remembered, we pray for them, and a small gift of money to help alleviate costs during their time of struggle. The foundation has shared funds with 132 recipients in the past 11 years. In fact, 2 more were delivered today. And this is done in Brownie's name, and yes, we may seem very altruistic, but we have not forgotten the fun, crazy, wild side of Brownie. We have a blast at meetings, we organize events, we create goodwill in our little corner of the world, and thanks Brownie, and thanks Gilly, and I wish you both were here tonight.
Okay, good evening everyone. I'm going to get right to it because I have a lot of people to thank and I want to congratulate everyone that's already been inducted, so let's go. On behalf of the Angels, many thanks go out to Larry Simpson and the entire Springwater Sports Heritage Hall of Fame Committee. We appreciate the countless hours of planning and preparation that have gone into tonight's gala celebration. Next, I would like to thank our generous sponsors for making tonight possible: the Mark McGuire Trust, Curry Motors, Diamond Head Sprinklers, Powell Jones Chartered Accountants, Marshall Insurance Brokers, and Sexton's Mechanical. Good job. Now it is time to thank our nominators who recognized our awesome accomplishments in 1982. Many thanks go out to Barb Brickman, Angela Curtin, and Norma Curtin for your nominations, time, support, and perseverance. Although we were originally sponsored by the Elmvale Sports Store and the Lads, it would be remiss if we didn't thank the 15 local merchants who sponsored us in our championship season. And a special thank you goes out to MC Dan McGinnis. He has been like a brother to me. If you remember, Dan announced all the Angels home games in Elmvale, so that was pretty cool. Dan always does a bang-up job hosting these events, and I figure if he can do this, why can't I? And just because I got the mic and I can, I'm going to slip in a thank you to my loving fiance, Terry Joy, who has quite a baseball resume of his own. He lets me be me, he encourages me to be me, and he brought me here tonight, so thank you, Terry. And last but not least, it is only right to thank the boyfriends, the parents, the girlfriends, the husbands, and all our loyal fans who followed us for 8 years, home and away. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to now give you a brief synopsis of how the Angels came to be. Angels. Woo! Angels. Woo! Angels. Woo! Okay. In 1973, Bill and Shirley Stoddard, along with Shirley Furlong, created the Elmvale girls softball team and entered us into the Georgian Bay League. We were immediately successful, winning the league championship and the playoffs. The next year, I was too old to play, so I went to play PWSU for Petatang, which U was Union back then. We won the provincials in Belleville that year, and our team was rewarded in 1995 by being inducted into the Petatang Machine Sports Hall of Fame. In 1996, the Elmvale girls team became the Elmvale Ladies. So I was able to rejoin my hometown team, which now had added Joan Player and Bernice Duckbill to the coaching staff. John Brown took over as head coach in 1977, and we played in the Georgian Bay League for the next 2 years, and made our first trip to the provincials in St. Mary's. Does anybody remember tipping over the outhouse on the 401 heading to St. Mary's with Joan Clare? Those were the days, my friends. In 1979, we entered the Berry League, which consisted of 16 teams in 4 divisions. We were in the Elite A division from day one, tying for first in the league with Smitty's team and winning the playoffs. 1980 saw us win the league and the playoffs, and we finished either first or second in 5 tournaments. In 1981, we placed second in the league and the playoffs, but we won silver at the provincials, bumping us up into senior tier 2. Yeah, this team also has a couple of silvers that we don't talk about much because we were really only going for the gold. Okay, so that brings us to the 1982 championship Elmvale Angels. First, I will acknowledge our angels in heaven who passed away much too young, starting with Coach John Brown. Brownie, as he was known, was called to heaven in 2006 at 59 years of age. He wasn't always right. He wasn't always fair. In every story that I tell, his name is always there. Congratulations, John, on your 2 inductions tonight. You are truly deserving. To Brownie and the rest of the coaching staff, I want to thank you for the certificate that we received every year. I got one each year for 8 years. So, like gifts from the past, they allowed us to verify the Angels roster, all the players that played, all the tournaments we played in. And every staff, we needed to justify our eligibility for induction. And it took great foresight to arm us with these precious mementos that we are utilizing 38 years later. So thank you guys. John Brown had connections everywhere. He was best buds with Peter Valletta of the Elmvale Sports Store, and even closer with the Labatt's rep, John McCann. Angels! As a result, we were treated to home and away uniforms, coats, beer, warm-up suits, equipment, and motel rooms. And beer. Our biggest hardship at a tournament was often trying to drink the beer on ice in our tubs in our room before we could shower and go to bed. John became the league president in 1980, and he made changes to the rules that allowed us to play home games in Elmvale instead of at Sheer Park and Barrie. And these changes greatly benefited our team in terms of travel, fan base, and gate fees. And as you all remember, Bubba at the gate there, and she would sooner chew the tire off your car than let you in free admission, so she was pretty good. Okay, when the Elmvale Angels folded in 1984, John Brown gave us each a plaque that read, "Thanks for the memories, Brownie." And I would like to reciprocate right now and say, Brownie, thanks for the memories. Okay, next up is Joan Clare, number 9, who was taken from us in 2001 at the age of 55. Joan was John's faithful sidekick manager, who sometimes drove him crazy with her ability to predict the past. For instance, the other team would get a big hit, and John would utter, "Damn, I knew I should have moved Fleecy over to the right," to which Joan would pipe up and say, "I was just about to say that." And John would yell, "Then why the hell didn't you?" This went on many times in a season. Joan and Bill hosted countless outings at their 2 homes and traveled in the van to every game and tournament, where Bill would blast off to the rodeo out of his van between innings in center field. Bill was always more than generous with the Angels and picked up numerous tabs for us. It is really good to see you here tonight, Bill. Thanks for coming. But one Sunday, we were partying in Bill's van, coming up to 400 after a tournament in Toronto, and Bill pulled the van over under a bridge. And unbeknownst to the 8 drunken Angels in the back, he picked up a hitchhiker. So Bill whipped open the sliding van door, and where's Fox? And Foxy grabbed the man by the lapels, pulled him into the van, and told him he'd been lost in the woods for 6 months. And we hadn't seen a man in a long time. She did. The poor guy practically leaped from the van when he was released in Barrie at Crocton Block, where he was going for a job interview. And ironically, that was our destination as well. And Bill Clare once again paid for us all. Okay, so Joan was a great lady and a great manager, but she sometimes could be a little bit naive. Brownie was once driving a rental van home from a tournament, and we were once again celebrating our win in the back of the van with music and beer, when someone lit up a left-handed cigarette. Eventually, the smell became apparent to Joan because she insisted that Brownie pull over the next 40 miles because the brakes were on fire. Joan Player not only had room in her heart for the 45 angels that passed through her home in 8 years, she genuinely delighted in sharing the ball diamond with her 2 daughters, Jody and Billy Joe, or 9A and 9B as they were known. And that brings us to our 3rd angel in heaven, Brenda Columbus, an elite shortstop who passed away in 2016 at the age of 55. BC had great range at short, very reliable and extremely consistent. BC's bat pounded up many RBIs over the years, but she was prone to strikeouts because she was too picky. Especially in practice, I know I had to throw strikes to her and she let me go back. And I was the only one that didn't get to go up to bat. Yeah. Okay, my dad used to joke, shortstop, Brenda would leap up into the air as high as she could and catch the ball at her ankles. Seriously though, BC was a first-rate ball player. And that leaves us with Kelly Grantham, or Granny, who in 2000 left us at the tender age of 39. Kelly was a quiet, beautiful, left-handed, gifted, natural athlete. She excelled in many track and field sports such as javelin throwing, and she also played varsity volleyball for Brock University. Granny once hit a home run over the center field fence in Hillsdale when she played for Queen's Hotel, not against us. Anyone that has played in Hillsdale knows that that's a long way to hit a ball. Kelly roamed center field at the 1982 provincials and finished 2nd in batting average behind Debbie Smith. Woo! And congratulations to the 4 of you. I wish you could be with us to accept your own awards tonight. Now, continuing on with our coaches who are present tonight. Angela Craddock, just pull up your name when I call your name. Okay, this is her. Angela Craddock taught for the Angels from 1977 to 1979 before taking on a managerial role in 1980, 81, and 82. Angela fulfilled many behind-the-scenes duties such as booking rooms, ordering equipment and gear, and scorekeeping. Okay? Sorry. One Sunday night, Angie and I snuck up on the Brownies' roof over the red and white to borrow some team beer to take to the drive-in. We looked in his bedroom window, and we saw some things that can never be unseen. Talk about off to the rodeo. Now, Annette Craddock. Okay. Annette Craddock, or we called her Annetta because she hated that name and we knew it really bothered her. Okay, she was first a baseball mother and fan who eventually evolved into a coach, a manager, and a scorekeeper. On the field, she was strict, harsh, stern, somewhat teacher-like. But off the field, she was fun, funny, sociable, and well-liked. But Joanne! Joanne! I've heard her yell my name way too often, and it wasn't always my fault, Annetta. Okay, and Tom McLennan. He rounds out our coaching staff. Tom Thumb, as Brownie called him, arrived in 1981, and he hit countless balls by the hours to the outfielders. Tom proved to have a bit of a temper, and it was beware when he pushed his ball cap to the side. Tom was coaching at first in a tournament in Richmond Hill when he disagreed with the ump on a call at first. He kicked dirt all over the ump, Billy Martin style, until he was ejected. Anna was pitching the semi-final game at the time, so I took over coaching at first, but I went to jump over a ball and landed on it and sprained my ankle. So Anna had to pitch a game back-to-back, and we won the tournament with 0 runs scored against us for the weekend. Tom played good cop, the Brownie bad cop, but he wouldn't let John intimidate him or make decisions for him. Tom defended me at least twice over the years, and for that I thank and congratulate you, Tom, wherever you are. Where is it? Okay. This now brings us to the remaining members of the Championship 1982 Angels, beginning with Debbie Charman. A terrific ball player both offensively and defensively. You couldn't pay her to swing at the first pitch. And you didn't want to let her on base against you because she was an extremely fast runner who was hard to take out because she slid like a snake with no hips. She still looks the same. I played with and against DC for many years. Some games her tailbone was so messed up, she couldn't get off the toilet to play. So she was pretty happy when I showed up. What a deserving trooper Deb Charming is. Next is Trisha Downey, or Fleecy. She was a young, headstrong, determined girl who set it all with her bat as she hit cleanup for us. Fleecy wasn't always on good terms with Brownie. She was mischievous and he picked on her a lot. And I knew how that felt because he did the same thing to me. Fleecy hid her emotions behind a big grin, but under that lurked a girl who wondered what she had done this time to be in so much trouble. Despite it all, Trish was an elite infielder, a great teammate and friend, and that's all that matters. And that brings us to Jean Fox, or Foxy. Okay. You remember that game, Papa Not Trouble? We used to go, if you got trouble, wait, don't run. This kind of trouble is lots of fun. Jean Fox could not say that, and she would make such a fool or something. But she could not say that slogan no matter how many times she tried, and it was like she was wearing someone else's dentures. Foxy was a former pitcher turned infielder who loved to swing at pitches high and away, which he would pound into the gap in right center. Foxy's bat proved mighty throughout the years and yielded her enough RBIs to earn the Marvin Graham Award. Even though Foxy was one of Brownie's favorites, it didn't help her one year as we were coming home from a tournament and Brownie refused to pull the van over to let us pee for over 50 miles. John did not like to lose, and we had the audacity to finish in second place. Apparently we weren't taking the loss seriously enough, and that's why he was mad and wouldn't stop. So finally he pulled over, flung the sliding door open to let us out, and the door came off in his hands. Now he wasn't mad, he was pissed. So we were at a deserted gas station, and there were girls squatting everywhere because they had to pee like an hour ago. Okay, so Foxy and I, we crammed our butts into the same filthy urinal and shared a moving moment together. John's disposition did not improve on the way home. Next comes our baby angel, Angela Curtin, or Drapes. She was 17 years old, she was a baby, and some feel she was protected by the coaching staff, and most agree that was a good thing. Drapes was a very good midget player, who in retrospect probably should have remained a midget if she wasn't going to get playing time with the Angels. Whatever, she did join the big girl team, but was used sporadically as a pinch hitter and pinch runner. Angela, however, did learn to make us lovely pina coladas from Joan Clare. John Brown once paid Drapes' employer, Dave Campbell, $100 to pay her wages for the weekend so she could attend a tournament with us, and then sat her on the bench for the whole weekend. She didn't even play. Ironically, Drapes won the Most Improved Player Award for pine sitting that year, proving that all was not fair and some things just did not make sense. When the Angels folded in 1984, Drapes went on to excel offensively and defensively in the Barrie League once she had the chance to play. Angela won League Defensive MVP and was chosen to participate in the slow pitch tournament in the Sky Dome because she was rated one of the top 6 female players in Barrie. Way to go, Drapes. Now, Brenda Middleton, or Pose. She played right field before playing some games at third base. Posey played hard and she partied hard. In the beginning, Posey was a gung-ho player who had trouble throwing the ball. It was like she had no idea what to do with it after she caught it. So eventually, when the ball was hit to Pose, the whole team would yell, "Look! Throw!" That became a team mantra until her throws became more catchable. Brenda worked in a bakery at this time, and she borrowed her work van to take us to a tournament. We were having a blast on the way home in the van. Posey was full, and she had to be sick. So she slid open the little side window that pushes out like that and let her fly. But unfortunately, Anna Story and I were sitting right behind her, and we wore most of it. When Posey went to work the next day, her job was to bake buns by the dozen. Some of her bags held 10 buns, others 14, and the odd one 12. As a result, Brenda was sent home for the rest of her shift. Way to go, Brenda. Next up is Barb Parker of Shorefee, and she couldn't be here tonight. She's flying out somewhere tomorrow. She was an 80 who left the farm to join the Angels. Now, doesn't that sound like a country song? Okay, Barb always looked to me like she belonged in Buckingham Palace or on a coin or something. Looked really like a queen. She was utilized as a capable catcher who could fill in at first base. And despite her regal bearing, Barb could tear the cover off the ball when she hit it. It is no wonder this friendly, likable player earned most sportsmanlike player honors. Okay, now Debbie Smith was the player that other teams loved to hate, but was tolerable if she was on your team. Smitty was an elite catcher who transformed me from a thrower to a pitcher by saying, hit the glove, hit the glove. So once I got a target, that turned me into a pitcher, and I thank you for that very much, Smitty. Okay, she was the most opinionated, loud, stubborn, competitive. Did I say loud? Yeah. Anyway, Smitty took command behind the plate. Her bad knees required her to squat at the ump's feet. And then she pushed off his feet to stand up and throw the ball. It worked for her. I hear Smitty has had 2 hip and 2 knee replacements. Good thing she isn't an octopus. Debbie hit .850 at the provincials in 1982 and was named batting champion. That's some serious hitting. Congratulations. And a story. Right there. Or Edna Boyle, as she was called. She was the real deal. Brownie was told we wouldn't get along, but we did. We had mutual respect for each other as pitchers and as human beings. We complimented each other's pitching styles. We both had deadly changeups, and we were both strikeout pitchers. Anna was clocked at 65 miles per hour at the CNE tournament, and I was clocked at 63 miles per hour. She won the MVP award at the provincials, and captured her 3rd provincial gold in 3 years. Way to go, Edna Boyle. Way to go. Okay, Bonnie Van Castle, or Nutsy. There she is. She was one of the most inspirational angels. Nutsy played center field, but DH'd at the provincial tournament. In the semifinals, our team was losing, but Bonnie leaped like a ballerina over the catcher who had come up the third baseline to catch the ball. Nutsy landed perfectly in the middle of home plate on one foot, safe to tie the game. She should have been so out. But instead, we went on to win the game, and eventually, the PWSA Senior Tier 2 Championship. Outstanding, Bonnie. And then Linda Watson. or Watson. She played tournaments for us in 1981 before joining the team as captain in 1982. Watsy was a strong girl with a strong bat who provided numerous RBIs for us. Linda was a former Army-Navy match slasher in the Barrie League before joining the Angels. We were playing the first game of the provincial qualifying tournament. I think it was in Peterborough, and we were losing early in the game, like 3-0. Everything was going wrong that possibly could. Skies open, flooded the diamond, thunder, lightning looming in the distance. And a long fly ball was hit out to left field. And Watson here, she ran a mile in the rain to track it down, leaped through the air like Kevin Pillar, and caught the ball and disappeared into a huge splash in a huge puddle. So Brownie talks to Foxy and says, okay, I want you to fake an anxiety attack from the storm. So Foxy does, and we got the game called, canceled. We got to play the game the next day, and we came back and won. I'll never forget that. Okay, our last angel is Carol Petit, or P-Tits as Brownie called her when she wasn't there. Unfortunately, we could not contact Carol to be here tonight. Carol didn't play much, but she did lead us in these annoying exercises where she expected us to like run and jump and sweat and all that. Oh, well, our team was probably never in such good shape. Okay, in conclusion, it wasn't always right, it wasn't always fair, but I am proud of my accomplishments and those of my fellow angels here on earth and in heaven. Every Sunday morning was spent at a grueling 10 o'clock practice, and we played in all kinds of weather, sometimes injured. We excelled at every level, playing against big city teams with tremendous results. We truly were in a league of our own. Thank you on behalf of the 1982 Angels. Angels!